Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is the daily forecast for all signs, so it is a collective reading. I do speak in broad terms. You have to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not off your path. Any of that sort of thing. Trust your intuition over anything else. But if it does fit, by all means, utilize it. I do refer back to the Sunday underpinning reading, which goes out for the week. It's the cards that are at play in the background or the larger overarching energy of the week. So if you hear me referring to cards that you don't see in this reading, I'm referring back to that Sunday reading. And that populates in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this reading if you want to check that out. Now, the other thing I will say, this reading is originally created for Monday, the 7th of November, but it is not solely set for that date. It could be used anytime you see it. If it makes sense or it fits in your life, by all means, utilize the reading when you find it. I believe that readings find us when we need them rather than maybe when they were originally created for. I've experienced that with other readers on YouTube myself personally, so I do truly trust that. If you're interested, please check out the drop-down menu underneath my daily readings. In there is what decks I'm using in the current video, things I want you to think about when you like my readings, like general housekeeping rules and things like that, but also just perspectives I want you to keep, which are important. How to follow me on social media, although I am a lazy social media person. But if you want to follow me or contact me via social media for a private reading, that's always available to you and payable via PayPal. So any private reading is going to be more specified to your specific situation. And those are done through me sending you a video link via YouTube that's good for a year, or through a phone call. You can do that live over the phone. And beyond that, sorry, I'm kind of long-winded this morning. Beyond that, there's ways to support the channel, and these are kind of important, guys. Please, if you enjoy my content, hit that thumbs up button. It just helps the algorithm. Share the video out on any of your social medias, like on your Facebook page, which is welcome, so other people can find out about me. And subscribe to the channel if you're new to me. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. I do daily content, so a new video goes up every day. I might start doing some other things. I have this sort of idea brewing in my head. It may not be for everyone, but if I get the gumption to put it together, you'll start to see that too, and that might be something that may interest you. But those are really important. And leave a comment or a question if you have on the video. I do read them all. So if the reading is resonating for you or making sense to your situation, by all means, leave me a message and let me know. Because it totally can lift my spirits, and it can make me feel like, even though I do have a small audience, it's a mighty audience at that. And I appreciate each and every one of you for watching, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. So thank you for that. All right, so let's get into this. I think I've said everything. I kind of went out of order, but whatever. It's okay to be out of order once in a while. So let's see what the card is for the day. Remember, we have the 11/11 portal this month coming up, but we also have tomorrow evening, when you guys are seeing this on the 7th, tomorrow evening will be the lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus, the full moon, and it's in 16 degrees of Taurus. So there could be, eclipses are about disruption and change and, things shifting. And we did see a tower in the Sunday reading, so that could be part of it. But Taurus is also an extremely productive and grounding sign. So my feeling with this eclipse is that if there are changes or if there are, shifts that might seem large or crazy or whatever, let them happen, because Taurus's energy is going to even everything out. Taurus is going to bring us to a place or a space of productivity, steadiness, groundedness, self-assuredness in the end, right? So understand that whatever may be being released, and also full moons are about releasing, right? So whatever's being let go or passing through our lives or disappearing, changing or shifting, it is for our own highest good. It is for, probably a more firmer foundation to stand on throughout the rest of November and maybe even throughout the entirety of the year. So keep that in mind as things may shift or change. Some of you may experience the tower as a negative experience. My phrase with the tower, for those of you that are new to me, is let go of the drag. Like, in other words, if you fight against it, it's just going to make it worse. Like, let the change transform. Let the release happen. Let the planets do what they need to do. Get in alignment with the change. Like, let it happen. Don't fight it. Don't dig your heels in or, start scratching with your nails to hold yourself in the place that you're in, because what's going on planetarily says we're not supposed to, basically, essentially. Jupiter's in Pisces in retrograde. A lot of the signs are Venus and Mercury have been coming together in Libra. So there should be like good communication, especially in intimate relationships. Jupiter's going to want to expand on that. In retrograde, it's going to want to revisit things that maybe were left unsaid. And all of these planetary influences, I will say this as I'm shuffling, all of these planetary influences are looking for the truth, is my feeling when I think about them. They're looking for us to, even if we have to revisit, an emotional truth or a spiritual truth, intuitional truth that we have within us. Not only do we have the capacity to revisit it and honor it, but we also have the ability to express it, guys. And that might be exactly what we need. And that may be the thing that causes the shift, but that shift is going to bring us the steadiness of Taurus. Taurus also is about creature comforts, decadence, indulgence, but in a good way, in a homey, sort of safe way, And so it may bring us back to something that we lost touch with. It's almost like, I don't know why I'm hearing this or feeling this, but it's almost like maybe a coming home or a rearrival to something that's safe and comfortable for us, beyond the change that we might be experiencing or beyond the shifts that are happening around us. All right, so that's enough. I have talked way too much today. What is up with me? I'm only on my second cup of coffee, guys. All right, so I've got all my decks shuffled, which I don't normally do this, but that's okay. We're doing things differently today, apparently. So let's see what the cards are for today for the collective. All right, so for our main card, the energy is the Six of Pentacles. Now, am I wrong? Did we not see this bitch like earlier this week? Is she not our Sunday underpinning? I am tripping. She is the Sunday underpinning. Okay, so we just saw her yesterday. This hoe is trying to tell us, bring yourself into balance because, all right, here we go. Let's do this, people. All right. Six of Pentacles is about bringing things back into balance. To me, the Six of Pentacles, if the Six of Pentacles had a bigger sister, it would be, she would be like the Justice card, right? But Justice is air, right? She's associated with that sign of Libra, which, what did I say? Venus and Mercury are in Libra, seeking out like clear, concise communication, right? Or they were in Libra. I don't know if they still are, but they definitely were. And so from there, we have this earthbound energy of the Pentacles, right? That to me signifies that 16 degrees of Taurus, right? That sort of balancing out that comes out of the shifts and changes. Now, we see the Six of Pentacles as our beginning underpinning energy, and we're seeing it again today, reminding us to maintain that balance, to maintain that steadiness. Look how firmly planted she is on that earth, right? She's in that beautiful pink dress. I love the colors of this deck. This Cosmic Slumber deck has just got me. I just am in love with this deck. The traditional Six of Pentacles meaning is about equanimity, like things being like equalized, put back into a place of fairness, or I would say stability, yes, but more like a like it's the great equalizer in some ways, right? So is justice in her own way, but she's more air and logic and communication, law, that sort of thing. Six of Pentacles is more about us in the 3D creating that balance within ourselves first and foremost. And I say that because of her pink dress. This pink dress is giving me full on heart chakra compassion vibes. But it's also about, you know, giving where we can, but also I feel like with this pink dress and just seeing this card a lot, it's about giving to ourselves during this time, right? Creating that balance within ourselves, being grateful for what we have and understanding the abundance of what we have, even if we want more, right? We can always want more. We're human. That's the whole thing is, oh, when I get this one thing, I'll be happy. And then we get that one thing and it's like, oh, wait, I want that one thing too now to be happy. But when we have that balance and we maintain that balance, we firmly root ourselves in that balance, we're ready for the shifts and changes of maybe what's to come this week. And I feel like that's sort of the message of this card today, showing up twice, is to remind us to like firmly stand our ground, firmly be aware of what we have and the abundance that provides us with, even if it might be, you know, sixes aren't the biggest, most like glamorous card in the deck, but what we have is enough. We even have them, then some. You know, that's kind of the Six of Pentacles. It can be a redistribution of the wealth. When I say wealth, yes, obviously Pentacles is money, but wealth can be time, wealth can be attention, wealth can be intelligence, wealth can be, you know, assets, right? Resources that we have available to us that we need to tap into and ground into and utilize and understand and own, like own. And I think that's what I love about this deck, even though it's called Cosmic Slumber, meaning like, you know, connected to the universe and sleeping, or at a deeper level connected at a more subconscious level. I love the empowerment that these cards feel to me in the design, in the art. Even I was talking to a friend yesterday, the negative cards, or the things that usually feel restrictive with a traditional meaning, actually feel sort of shifted slightly in this deck. And what I feel like with this Six of Pentacles is it's like, yes, we can give to others. We see that those hands reaching out, but the main focus, her head is turned away. The main focus is taking care of ourselves, nurturing ourselves, grounding our 3D body, and owning and maintaining balance within ourselves. Giving to others, yes, while we can, establishing that balance or balancing the scales, but keeping, you know, maybe ourselves first, is my feeling with this card. And that's okay. Like, go for it, right? I hope that makes sense to you guys. It's okay. And if for some of you, you know, here's the thing. I don't want you to think that you don't have enough, but if some of you are only focused on yourself right now and you're not necessarily giving out to others, that's okay, because those two little hands down there in the corner, they're not the main focus here in this card. Oftentimes in the traditional Rider-Waite, there's two people on either side, like kind of in beggar mode. And the person standing in the middle is holding a scales, which also kind of ties back to that justice card. But here, to me, the focus feels like it's not that she's ignoring the needs of others, but she's helping when she can, but she's helping herself first. And as I say that, the mental picture I get is that every time you get on a damn airplane, it's the oxygen mask thing, you know? Before helping someone else place their own oxygen mask on, we have to put on our own. And so it's kind of like that vibe, right? But if we're only, say there's only one oxygen mask, let's use that as an example. My feeling is, or what I feel like the cards are trying to tell us is, do not focus on the fact that there's only one oxygen mask. If what you have, you're utilizing all of your assets towards yourself at this time, and that's all you have to give, that's okay. But don't look at it as a lack. Look at it as a balance. Look at it as, be grateful for what you have. Be compassionate for what you have. Even if those of you out there watching maybe don't have enough to maybe share with others at this time, still be proud and in gratitude that you have enough to maintain your own balance, your own steadiness, your own security, all of that. And let that be your guide today. Let's go to my other new, like, kind of favorite deck, the Hip Hop Queens, and see what they have to say. Okay. I don't know. Now, some of you might like beat me up for pronouncing this wrong, but it's SZA, I think. SZA. I've heard of her. I'll say that. I'm sorry. I'm not cool enough to know all of these hip hop queens, but I do love them. And part of well, that's a whole nother side story, but there's this divine feminine trip that I've been on a lot lately. And this is why I'm loving this deck, because these women represent that divine feminine. And please don't get me, like, come at me in the wrong way or take this in the wrong way. But these women being hip hop queens, how do I want to put this? They face adversities, like women of color face adversities in our society, unlike, oh, I'm going to get emotional. Yeah. Whoa. Shit. Whoa, that hit me just like a ton of bricks, guys. Whoa. Whoa, give me a minute. Okay. In my opinion, I'm just going to say this in my opinion, and I know that, like, I'm a white gay male, right? But in my opinion, people of color in general have a much harder time in our society. But women of color also carry a burden that I don't think I, as a gay man, I feel like I, as a gay man, relate to a certain degree, because I'm gay, so I'm outcasted because of that, but I still have passable skin color, right? So when I look at these decks, when I look at this deck in particular, these women represent the divine feminine to me on a very deep level. A level of power, a level of passion, a level of drive, a level of inspiration that doesn't always get honored in our society, doesn't always get looked at as the strength and the determination. Oftentimes, excuse my language, but, women of color sometimes get labeled like the angry black lady, and it's not what that is at all. It's a total misinterpretation of what I consider to be the divine feminine energy, which is an energy of power, wisdom, and knowledge, sensuality, sexuality, strength. And so where am I going today? This reading is really going all over the place. So that's why I love this deck. And that's why I feel like this deck has arrived here. It's here while I'm kind of in my own personal exploration of my own divine feminine and finding it. All right. So, and the word with SZA, and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. If there's anybody that's watching who can correct me on that, please do so, because I do not want to disrespect anyone's name or space or any of that. But SZA's word is passion, and to me, that's a divine feminine attribute too, right? To be passionate about something, to have drive, to have all of the things that I just sort of talked about, right? And so when I look at her, she's staring us straight in the face. She knows her power. She knows her wisdom. She knows everything that she is. I will say this, the white shirt that she is wearing is really drawing my attention. And the reason being is that white to me is oftentimes associated with this idea. And maybe this is, wrong to say, but it's associated to me with the essence of purity, right? Clarity, divine, spirit, right? Those sort of things. And so when I see her here with this long, beautiful feminine hair and this sort of hand at her chin, looking at us dead in the eye, saying, "Oh, really? You think that?" You know what I mean? She's clear on who she is. She's clear on what her passions are. She's steady in this Six of Pentacles energy of the abundance that she has and the further abundance she can create even through the changes. She's passionate about it. And I get this feeling like she takes no prisoners, right? She takes no shit and no prisoners. This woman is my feeling as I look at her. And she embraces like her strength, her beauty, all of those aspects as one, right? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And I hope that like my descriptions today have not, been in error. Now, let me read SZA's card to you. This deck is like really wonderful to me. All right. So SZA is passion, fire, lust, and drive. SZA independently built her brand as an ethereal siren before aligning with hip-hop powerhouse Top Dog Entertainment. Her 2017 debut studio album, Control, spelled CTRL, catapulted her to fame, yet SZA's true superpowers emanated from her fire within. Known for creating emotionally impactful music that spoke from the heart and not the head, SZA's lyrics spurs others to dig deeply within themselves and sort through their own baggage. Her love of music intensifies that mission, and it's no wonder she's become an instrumental part of pop music, collaborating with everyone from Maroon 5 to Justin Timberlake. In the beginning, we wanted to see SZA run. Now we watch her fly. Just because your inner flame feels dim, and that could be the lack that I was telling you about in the Six of Pentacles, guys. Don't focus on the lack. You have enough. That's the strength of the pentacle. Just because, let me go back. I'm sorry. Just because your inner flame feels dim does not mean that it's completely out. A SZA card is a sign that it's time to rekindle that fire from within, absorb things that will inspire you, like music. SZA's a good choice, art, film, and books. It's easy to feel disconnected from your most passionate self, but that's the best time to run back. Your willingness to find that spark will determine your success rate. Don't fake it till you make it either. Proceed only when you're truly ready. Now, this proceed only when you're truly ready also is that sort of steady pentacles energy, right? The going within, that it says going in and finding that power within. Which way is she facing? She's facing away from what they need, right? I told you this card earlier in the reading was maybe about our own self-preservation or our own care at this time, and steadying and balancing ourselves in that. That's how we go in and we find that flame, that in that passion that SZA represents. Remember, the grounding stone underpinning this week on Sunday's reading is that stone of success. So whatever we're working on, whatever we're working towards, whatever we're passionate about, whatever fire we have that we're either trying to fan the flame or rekindle or whatever it is we're doing, know that we can be successful. And we may be starting from meager means, but we need to start from that steadiness and that balance of the Six of Pentacles. Let's go to the clarifiers. We have the Two of Cups. Bam. Love this card. Probably... It's a toss-up. I'm going to say this. I always say this to you guys. My favorite card is the Star card. And then I love the Page of Cups. But I would say close second, if not third place, is Two of Cups. Two of Cups is oftentimes a very romantic card, right? I perceive it as the most romantic card of the deck. And that romance can represent an actual relationship with another person where you're mirroring one another and coming together in union and really seeing each other for who you are, or they're showing you who you are through how you behave with them, that sort of a thing. But that catechist, that rod of Hermes that's between them, represents a healing that takes place. Twos also on another level can represent the healing or the relationship to the self. And so I want you guys, those of you that are not, in a relationship or not necessarily looking for an intensification of a bond, this could be about the bond to oneself, the fire that is within, and rekindling that, healing that, bringing that forward, and letting that be your guide, right? Letting that be your strength, allowing yourself to see all aspects of yourself. The Two of Cups is a love card, but it can be about the embracing and embodiment of our light side and our shadow side coming together in union and being healed or connected in such a way that we see ourselves more clearly. We understand and appreciate and love ourselves more dearly. So take that as you will. The next card out is the King of Wands. Here is that fire or that flame that SZA represents. The King of Wands is fire energy. He is that flame. He's the I see it, I take it, I want it, right? He is the master of action and connected to spirit. He is the highest card in the court, right? So he knows how to make shit happen. He knows how to move stuff forward. I'm going to say this with the Six of Pentacles underpinning this and as our main card today, we may not be taking action just yet, but I feel like that King of Wands is certainly putting together the action plan if we're not ready for taking the physical steps forward. He is that flame being rekindled. He is that flame burning brighter, higher, more visibly to us than ever before. He is that push, that desire within us at a spiritual level to have whatever it is that we want, right? And with the Two of Cups sort of buffering him, assisting him, and helping him, it's like undeniable to me that we can't achieve what it is that we want while we keep and maintain this focus. Does that make sense? And then the last card, wow, is the Four of Wands. Wands, again, is fire energy. Four of Wands, oftentimes, and I'm going to just spit this right the fuck out. Some of you, this may be about relationships, because the Two of Cups and the Four of Wands are buffet both sides of these clarifiers, right? Four of Wands can be about soulmates. It can be about connection. It can be about marriage, celebration, coming together. Fours are foundational, to me, about stability and foundation. And we see a lot of stability in balance in that Six of Pentacles. We need to stand strong in who we are and what we want and what we desire, and be passionate about it and be clear on it. And we can manifest it. For those of you that are looking for a relationship, the King of Wands, he can represent somebody of a fire sign, Sag, Leo, or Aries. But I'm going to say this, and it's funny to me too, because as I look at this card, he's very much attentively paying attention to that Two of Cups. He's watching that relationship build, the desire in him to almost fan the flames of that Two of Cups, right? To grow that passion within himself or ourselves, leads us to our Four of Wands, which is this spiritual celebration, this spiritual reunion. If that reunion is with a part of ourselves that we've forgotten, a part of ourselves that we've lost, or maybe even a part of ourselves that we haven't quite yet known, it's here for us today. And for those of you that are doing this with another individual, right, it's also here for you too. But it's about standing clear and precise and balanced in yourself, your passion, your truth, and owning that or understanding that even as things may shift or change during this time. Jesus, this is a long reading. I'm sorry. All right, let's go to the grounding stone. This is just a principle that you want to ground in during this day. Okay. We just saw this last week. It is clarity. Sorry, it's a little dirty. It's because I had to glue it with crazy glue. It snapped when I dropped the bag. But clarity, this is the thing. With clarity, grounding in clarity, this is the clarity of the vision of what we have, and being, like I said, with that Six of Pentacles, being grateful for what we have, even if it isn't exactly everything that we fully foresee or desire. The desire is there in Scissors card of passion and in the King of Wands. He's also in both. It's also in both of these other two sort of romantically linked soulmate cards, right? Again, I don't want this to be solely about like people in a relationship. If this is about deepening our relationship to ourselves or finding aspects of ourselves within us that we lost touch with or are passionate about, grounding in that clarity and connecting to that intelligence. It's almost the intelligence, her hand at her chin there also gives me a little bit of justice vibes, right? Like she's like pondering, thinking like, okay. So this clarity to me is grounding in this clarity of what is it that you desire? What parts of yourself do you need to embrace? What qualities or, even material resources, assets do you have around you, within you, that you need to ground in, own, and be grateful for today, and be clear in that. And the clearer you are in that, the more the flame gets bigger, the desire becomes stronger, and the possibilities become endless, if that makes sense, right? The arrival can happen with the Four of Cups, the Four of Wands and the Two of Cups there. And certainly with the King of Wands, powering that engine. That is your reading for the day. I hope it made sense. Please, if you enjoyed the reading, hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a question or comment. Share the video out. Tell your friends about me, please. Help me grow my audience. And subscribe, please. Please subscribe. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow, and we'll see how this energy changes. Tomorrow will be that full moon eclipse, guys. So expect it to be interesting at best. I love you all. Thank you for those of you who stayed through the entirety of this reading. It was a bit long, but maybe it was worth it. And take care and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.